All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the practice day press conference. This time, Texas A&M is on the panel. Beginning at the far end of the table, we introduce senior Kyla Hillsman. Moving down this way, we introduce junior Danny Williams. Seated next to her is junior Anriel Howard, and seated immediately next to me is head coach Gary Blair. We will begin with questions for our student athletes, please.
Don't be afraid to ask.
Silence.
Cease.
Robert Sessler, the Bryan College Station Eagle. Danny, they like to shoot a lot of threes. You guys have had, good success at times, bad success against guarding three-point teams this year. What do you think is going to be the key as far as you're concerned guarding the three-point shooters tomorrow?
Just try to run them off the three-point line. We're not too worried about them dribble pull-ups. We just want to make sure we're getting out above the arc and contesting their 3 points, because that is 30 points of their 80 points scoring-wise. So that's really our key, is just pushing them offside the three-point line, making them uncomfortable on the dribble.
Anything more for student athletes? In the very back.
Give our game plan away.
I know, I was so good.
Just give our game plan away. What else you want to do?
Matt Trent, NBC College Station. Danny, not a lot of Power 5 opponents for them coming into this one. Is that what you guys look at in terms of they're not used to this pace of play, like the SEC pace of play, and do you really want to get out and just kind of run them into the ground early?
Absolutely. They haven't faced many teams like the Power 5, and so that's an advantage for us, because I don't think they're going to see our speed, but also we can't take them lightly. This is the NCAA tournament, and every team deserves to be here, and they're here for a reason, so we just got to be prepared.
Cease.
Robert Sess again. Kyla, looking at them, they don't seem to have a lot of size inside. What do you expect defensively from them, and how are you going to attack them, you feel?
I've been getting double teamed all season, so I'm going to definitely be expecting that. So it's just going to open up for the guards and for Ariel. So if they double team me, it's just an easy kick out to one of the guards or a kick out to Ariel for the drive, which is what we've been doing all season. We've been working on it in practice. So really, I'm going to expect a double team, but if I don't get double teamed, that's good for me, because I like playing one-on-one. And as far as myself defensively, it's going to be a challenge. I got to make sure I'm in my stance a lot this game. It's not like they have a dominant back to the basket post player, so I'm definitely going to have to be moving my feet a lot more than I usually do.
In the front, Travis.
Travis Brown at the Eagle. Anriel, last year y'all were in LA prepping for the tournament out there. How is the preparation for getting ready for this different, being at home hosting?
Well, home court advantage is always a blessing to have. Last year we traveled pretty far. Maybe some could say a little jet lag. We had to get our feet back under us. But just being able to have 12th man support us here is definitely beneficial for us. So we're really excited to have home court advantage.
Anything more for student athletes? Cessna, and then we'll go to the way back with John, and then we'll come back to you, Cease.
Anriel, John Wilson with KBTX TV. How confident are you guys heading into this tournament, the way that you closed the regular season, then splitting at the SEC tournament?
Yeah, we did really well in the SEC tournament. We want to keep that same energy that we had in the tournament and bring it to this tournament. And just play hard. Regardless of who we play, we know it's going to be a great game. It's postseason now, so everybody's coming to give their best, because it's all or nothing.
Anything further?
I've got a question.
Okay. Coach?
As former sports editor of the Lakeside Baptist Eagle, that was my church. I was sports editor. Anriel Howard. I'd like to ask you, as captain of this team, what have y'all done in the week since the SEC tournament as far as bonding and getting together closer as a team to carry you through these first two rounds?
Well, we've done a few things. We brought in Felicia Hall-Allen, and I asked for her, actually, because she's a great woman. Like, if you look her up, there's so many things that you can learn about her. And she's a motivational speaker, and I think that her coming here brought our team closer together. And not only that, but we go out to eat, and we just always are around each other regardless. So we always have that chemistry off the court.
I think your coach took y'all to a movie too.
Oh, of course, I can't forget about that. So, Coach Blair, he took us to a great movie called A Wrinkle in Time. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. Look at the trailer. It's awesome. It teaches you some life lessons and make you view the world differently. But yeah, we got to do that as a team and with our coaching staff. It was just awesome. Instead of practice, like we came here thinking we were going to practice, and he's like, nope, we're taking you to the movie. So that was awesome.
As Danny Williams, could I ask you, this event that we're going to do tonight outside the George, and we're going to give away free tickets to 8th graders and below, what can this do involving the community to get behind the whole 4 basketball teams? What can we expect tonight when we're between 6 and 7 o'clock at the George?
You can just expect a lot of fun, interaction. You know, it's great for us to be out in the community, for people to see that, you know, we're trying to be involved, and they just see our face on a different level than a basketball court, so they can, you know, if you build relationships outside of basketball, then they'll want to come support you. So that's what we'll be doing tonight.
Cease.
Kyla, why didn't Gary ask you a question?
I don't know,
You
man.
grabbed the microphone. I've got one.
He don't want to know nothing
He's
about
ready.
me. No,
Here we go.
he read my article today, so I think that was like all of the attention I'm getting.
It's a great article. Go read it.
And there's another great article that Cease wrote about her today in the Eagle, and the article that I read to the team was from Shireen Williams, who wrote a story. What was it titled, Kyla?
I haven't read it all the way. He just like was the first entire read. I think it's called "It's Not How You Start, But How You Finish" or something like that. Yeah, that was really bad. Like,
It was really good. Go read it.
I was really bad.
Well, she's great now, so.
Piano.
Anything further?
All right. Thank
All right,
you, guys.
ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, ladies.
You know, she really did ask me if I wanted to take swimming at piano. Like, that wasn't a joke.
Can I take this water? Thank you.
Like, she really used to ask me.
Questions for Coach Blair, please. Cease.
Gary, what about the three-point defense? Like you said, you old Vanderbilt, but they have everybody in their team shoot threes. So how is they're a little bit different than other teams you faced?
It's not just their threes. What I'm worried about is the 22 assists a ball game that leads the nation. That's unheard of. We're averaging 13 a game. They're averaging 22. We average close to 78 points a game. They're averaging 82 and a half, the same as DePaul, and I think Oklahoma is just a little bit below us. This should be the highest scoring region of the 4 teams. Now, can we stop the 3? I thought we did a pretty good job when we played Vanderbilt earlier in the year. You're going to give some away because that's part of their offense. But at the same time, you want a hand in the face and you want to contest shots. You don't want to block jump shooters or you risk getting a foul. You want to contest high hand, make them back up a little. But the thing that scares me is their passing ability. They share the basketball better than any team that we've played. The best offensive team we've played this year is Oregon. And on film, and they have played Oregon. So I'm sure they've learned a lot by playing them. They don't have an UNESCO, but they've got everything else. Those kids have basketball IQ. They understand the game. They do things well, and they're very well coached.
Zach.
Zach Taylor, Newstalk 1620. Coach, for your recollection, at least in your memory, do you ever remember facing a team on a 21-game win streak coming into the NCAA tournament or more?
In the first round? No, not in the first round. As it goes on later in the year, I'm not sure what Baylor was at the time when we played them in 11, but we've seen it before. We had to face Mississippi State earlier in the year. We faced Tennessee when they were undefeated. We were able to win that one, but then we lost the one at Mississippi State. So a lot of it, they haven't seen a lot of teams like ourselves also. Oregon is nothing like anything in the SEC. And they played Iowa, who's a very aggressive team. We don't know whether to play a man or zone or play HTM. That's hope they miss. They're shooting 48%. So what we've got to do is not just try to get in a 92-90 game. What we've got to do is we've got to be able to defend, and we've got to make adjustments during the ball game. If something is not working, we need to make some changes. We can't wait to halftime or the next ball game. There might not be a next ball game. Remember last year when we played Penn, we were down 21 in the fourth quarter, and we upped the juice a little. We can't wait that far. We've got to make the adjustments early in the ball game, and what we've got to do is keep Kennedy out of foul trouble early, just like you watch the Oklahoma men's team. Their stud got 2 fouls with about 10 minutes to go in the first half. You can't do that. You've got to understand risk, reward, time, and score. Where are you in the ball game? Is a steal as important as a stop? A steal goes on the stat sheet. A stop goes nowhere but on the team stats. And that's what our team has got to do, is realize a stop is very important, because they shoot it so well that, but we've played good defense down the stretch. What we've got to do is continue to play good defense. Offense comes and goes, but defense has to be consistent.
And we'll go to the back corner, and then we'll come back here to the center.
Gary, Matt Trent, NBC College Station. Kennedy's the only one of the girls that you play on a consistent basis in the rotation that has no tournament experience. Has you or any of the girls talked to her about what this atmosphere is like and how she's going to be affected by this tournament atmosphere, especially even though she's playing at home?
I think I used the analogy the other day. I was talking. Kennedy Carter is just like Shirley Temple as a kid. She was born for the stage. If some of you young guys don't know who Shirley Temple is, Cecil will draw you a picture later. But you got to remember, she's played at the highest level. She's won national championships in AAU ball. She played for the state championship last March the 1st. She played for the gold medal last August. This stage isn't going to bother her. I've just got to make sure she realizes the stage is about 4 quarters. It's not what you do in the first half. You need to play consistently in the first half. Get your teammates involved. No reaching fouls. Keep your man in front of you. And enjoy the possessions. Enjoy the game. Don't just enjoy the scoring or the perfect pass. Enjoy the game. And that's what basketball is all about. That's what's a team game. And that's the one thing that Drake does so well. They play a team game because they might not have the athletic talent, but they've got the basketball IQ between the ears. They're a very good basketball team.
In the center, Dalton.
Coach, you've talked all year about you wanted to play here for the opening weekend. What does it mean to be here in Aggieland for the first 2 rounds of the tournament to you?
Aggies are used to producing championships here, whether it's the indoor track meet, a swimming meet, a tennis meet, or whatever. We know how to hold championships here, okay? Whether it's our regional here, we're very good at what we do as a department. Our athletic department knows how to bid for these things. We produce the championships. We've had national championships in cross country and soccer and just about every sport. What it means to do here, it's pressure on me to try to stay up with the Joneses. The Joneses are the other 18 coaches that are here. And I want to be the next Pat Henry or G that wins national championships. The pressure was on us to host. If you're the number 14 team in the country, you should be hosting. Our body of work has put us in that position. We're not afraid of playing anybody. As our schedule has dictated everything that we've done in the last 10 to 11 years. Consistency has been the best thing about Aggie women's basketball. 13 straight NCAA tournament. But how about this for a stat? Correct me, Wax, if I'm wrong on this. Drake has made the last 2. We've made the last 13. Oklahoma has made the last 19, and DePaul has made the last 16. So I'm not talking to a bunch of rookies here. I'm talking about people that know what NCAA tournament is all about. And definitely the lady from Drake, she was playing in it when she played at Iowa. She was that good of a player. So you've got a very experienced group that's here. You got the Godfather from Chicago here. He rules that city there. Sherry Cole could get elected governor in that state. Okay? And the lady at Drake, she can outplay all of us. So I'm proud of the consistency. I want to bring women's basketball to the highest platform we can do. Now, if we could win here, if we could win here and take it to that next level, that Aggie bandwagon will start circling, and it will start growing and growing and growing. And particularly if we can get to Sunday's game, people will be coming back from spring break. And I expect a great crowd on Sunday afternoon. But I've got to make sure Texas A&M is in that game.
In the back, John.
Gary, John Wilson with KBTX. How confident are you in your team's play, the way they closed the regular season and then playing well at the SEC tournament?
I'm confident in our ability. I can't say I'm confident in Drake because I've only seen him on film. And I'm very, very impressed. So we take nothing for granted. If you could see our coaching staff, as soon as that bubble was announced on the second quad, our assistants were already up there pulling up film. We have seen probably 15 tapes on Drake, Oklahoma, and DePaul. I mean, that's what we do. It's our job. And it's 24/7. We're just working super, super hard on this stuff right now. And it's a tough time in coaches' lives as well as players' lives too. You got to keep your players in the middle of spring break, but when you sign that dotted line to come to play for Texas A&M, you know there's no spring break. We play in tournaments. There's no spring break, and so that's what we do. To say I'm confident in our team's ability. But I was confident going into the Penn game last year, too. And look what happened. It took a miracle in the Brazos for us to win that one.
Cease, here in the middle.
Piggybacking on that, Gary, not at the time, but does it help now that these players, they were outplayed for 3 quarters against Penn, and now it's a similar seeding situation this year?
Yes. The difference is Drake is better than Penn. Okay, Drake plays in a little bit better league. They went through undefeated, and that's a league that when you go on the road, they draw a lot of people on the road up there in that Midwest area. And but I think the SEC gets you ready for this. Our non-conference schedule, look at the difference teams we play. We don't try to play everybody the same. We want different makeups who we're going to play. Like I said before, who does this team remind me of? They remind me of Vanderbilt a few years back when Vanderbilt was shooting threes and scoring 90 points a game and was well coached. And Vanderbilt's trying to build back to that level. But this is who this team reminds me of.
Anything more for Coach? John in the back.
Coach, you asked Danny about the rally that they'll take part in tonight from 6 to 7. What do you hope to see and get out of it for fans?
I want to see families out there that are bringing their kids out there. It's spring break. If you can't afford to take them to the beach or to all the movies or things like that, take them to a free event. Come out. The kids can play on that AstroTurf out there. They can get autographs signed. They can take pictures with our kids. And and our Yale leaders are going to be out there doing some thing, and they've got the best candy store in Bryan College Station called Love Street out there. If you hadn't been there, you guys need to go in. They got great restaurants out there. Can you picture Bryan College Station having that area with the George, with the Calvary Court, with all the restaurants and everything? This place has really grown. And it's an area that you can take families and kids. So I want to be there personally giving out some free tickets that Blair's Buddy and our coaching staff have paid for ourselves to a lot of kids that might not be able to come. But remember, every kid I bring out, that parent's going to have to pay full price to get in. So market him 101.